Hey guys, so I have been bullet journaling since May of 2017, and I thought it might be fun to show you guys the changes I've gone through since starting my bullet journal. Now, I started with this, which I got off Amazon for like $8, and unfortunately wasn't what I wanted because of the spine. The way it was bound, it would not lay flat. So I actually had to break the spine numerous times to get it to lay like this. And since then, I have switched to my Leuchtturm 1917 bullet journal, which is what a lot of people use. Now today, I'm just going to be going through my old bullet journal because when I first filmed this, I realized how long of a video it was. So I'm just going to be showing this to you for now, and I will have a separate video up showing you my new bullet journal. So like most bullet journals, I started off with the index. I don't like this index because I did it really weirdly. I had all the numbers on this side of my pages. What I realized was it was just really hard to keep track of what page everything was on because it wasn't uniform. I should have had my numbers on this side and then had like a column in the middle and started with my page titles. It worked for me. I turned out not to use the index a whole lot. I do use it, just not as much as a lot of other people who bullet journal do. And then I had my key. I don't follow the normal bullet journal key just because that doesn't really work for me, so I made up my own. But this key was too complicated for me, so I don't use all of this now. I just have a shorter version that I know I come back to all the time. And then we have my 2017 calendar, which I do not like for a number of reasons. One, I did not intend to have these lines all around the border. I don't like it because it makes everything look really boxy and confined. I was going for something else, and I don't know how, but I ended up with the lines, and I kind of had to roll with it. So I ended up looking like this. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not what I wanted. And then I have my academic calendar for 2017 and 2018, which I will not show you guys for security reasons. And then I have a list of unread books. You can see a little bit that I've crossed off some of them. Those that I've crossed off, I have read. I have TV shows to watch. These that are blacked off, I colored in because I wasn't interested in them anymore. And then when I have seen these shows, I will just put a line through them. But the ones I've blocked off like this, I don't have any interest in it anymore. And then I have anime that I want to watch. It's a very extensive list of anime because there's a lot that I haven't seen. I am currently going through my first watch of Pokemon in Japanese, and then I'm going to go through my first watch of it in English. I have not seen Pokemon, but my roommate's a huge fan, so I am doing that. And partly because I think it'll be fun to watch the English version and the Japanese version and compare it a little. It was the month of May. Guess who decided to be punny? Guess how it did not work out because it was a terrible pun. This is my tracker. As you can tell, this is my mood tracker. A lot of this I didn't end up using. I also don't like that there's a line here. I don't know why I started with that, but I did, and I ended up not liking it. What I did like was the calendar here. It was really helpful to have it to reference back on it every once in a while. And then on this side that my new bullet journal is covering, I have a budget tracker. Now it's filled out, so I'm not going to show you what it looks like, but I just had it so I was keeping track of my expenses. Being in college, I kind of had to, just so I knew how much I was making at my on-campus job and also what I was spending every month. And then we have my habit tracker, which as you can tell is really bad. I only apparently drank 2 bottles of water on 2 days out of the entire month. I was really bad about a lot of things. And then I have my first weekly spread, which I don't like this. It worked out for what I wanted because this was in May and it was getting to be close to finals week, and so I didn't have a lot of class related stuff going on. I just had like a couple of deadlines and mostly homework and studying, so this worked out really well. But I don't like it because it's really boxy. I don't like that the date is here and like the day is up here. I don't like how this looked. It served its purpose, but it's not my favorite thing. This is just like a little ramble I went on one night about something I thought about with my future. Hasn't come up since. I had a list of summer projects that I wanted to get done. As you can tell, I did not get a lot of these done. I did get some of it checked off, but it wasn't a really useful spread because of how things turned out over summer. I have my writing projects. I don't like this either because I just never really used it. It's too broad for my use and I haven't moved into my new bullet journal, so I don't know if this is a spread I want to revisit in the future, but it might be. Then I have my reading tracker. This came in really handy, especially when I read, I think 18 books over summer. I have my book title and page count on this side. I have the date I started, the date I finished it, and my rating. This came in really handy when it came to reviewing my books because I don't always review them as I read them. Sometimes I have a backlog, like right now I think I have 3 reviews to write. It's easier to have this reading tracker than to go on Goodreads and try to find what I rated it. So having this here was really helpful. Having the page count was really helpful. Having my start and end date was helpful as well. And I just really enjoyed looking at this to see how much reading I've accomplished. It's just a very satisfying feeling. And then I have a list of stuff I wanted to get for before sophomore year started. I got most of the stuff on this list, and then I have a writing tracker for a couple of projects I was working on. I needed to finish my NaNoWriMo novel from last year. I was trying to rework my first NaNoWriMo novel, got most of the way through that actually, and then some stuff happened with the draft and I realized I wasn't really interested in working on it anymore. And then I wanted to start outlining my NaNoWriMo novel this year. That didn't happen. This is another weekly spread. This was the week I flew back home, and so this is summer break. This is my flight home. I got back, I met with my best friend, and then I had a list of food I wanted to eat because I miss Asian food so much. And then I have a book bucket list and a bucket list. I had a TV show catch-up list, and this was a show I dropped, which I can't actually tell what that is, but I dropped the show. I needed to play catch-up with a lot of my shows because I didn't have a lot of time to watch it during freshman year. So as you can see, I caught up with Arrow, The Flash, Agent Carter, Teen Wolf, Beauty and the Beast, Criminal Minds Beyond Borders, Legends of Tomorrow. Actually, I did not catch up with Legends of Tomorrow. I lied. I quit the show as well. Fresh Off the Boat, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., NCIS, Person of Interest. So I only have a few shows left to catch up on. And then we go to another monthly spread. This is for June. This is the only drawing I have in my entire bullet journal, and it's a potato, and it's a quote from Doctor Who, one of the Christmas specials. This is where I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do because I knew I wanted a quote, but I also knew that I had a lot of space at the bottom of my habit tracker that I wasn't using. And so while it was nice to have it in 2 separate spreads, I didn't really like this layout either. And then I have video ideas that I'm going to cover up because I don't want to spoil you guys. And this is what I currently have for my weekly spreads. A couple of things have changed since, but this is what I use. It's more open. I like it a lot better. I like that it goes like this instead of being blocky and down. It just fulfills my needs a little more. We have another weekly spread, and then we have my July cover page. This is a quote from the originals, and I like to pretend that this is my excuse to not work out because, yeah, I'm a queen and queens don't run. I combined my habit tracker and my mood tracker into one spread, and I like this a lot better. I like that everything's together. It just looks a lot nicer, I think. I had mood down here and habit up here just so I knew what it was. I have another weekly spread. I have my hopeful summer TBR, which you can tell I've crossed most of the books off this list. I think I only had 4 or 5 books left, and I didn't end up completing that because of a book slump that I was in. And then Booktubeathon happened in July, and so did Zoe's 24-hour readathon. So I did both of these. I had a tracker for the book I started, the time I started it, the time I finished it, and how many pages I read, and then a total count of how many pages. I had the days here, pages I read, and then books I read, and challenges I completed. So that was really nice. I enjoyed having this for the readathon, and I think readathon spreads are going to continue on in my new bullet journal. I just haven't participated in any. And then we have 2 more weekly spreads. I started playing around with the colors a little more. I don't use a lot of colors just because I like my bullet journal being very black and white. I'm very simple with it. You can tell I don't do fancy designs. I don't draw in it except for my potato. I just like it being simplistic because I'm not very artistic. This setup, like my monthly setup, takes me about 10, maybe 15 minutes to set up every month. So it's really not that bad. Movies to watch. This also is not in my new bullet journal because I don't use it. My last spread, one thing I didn't like about this bullet journal is that the pages ghosted and bled through a lot. As you can tell, you can see what's on the other page. I really don't like that. And this is my quote for the month of August. This is really annoying because I did not move my little calendar over, so I really struggled with it because it turns out I rely on the little calendar a lot more than I thought. So what I would do when I needed to check the dates was I would actually refer to my mood tracker and my habit tracker. Now you can see that I've changed habit and mood to be up here instead of down here. I mean, it didn't make a whole lot of a difference. And then we have my August spreads. I didn't really make any new spreads in August. I have mostly just weeklies back to back, which is kind of boring. And then I had my goals for sophomore year, and then I have a packing list of important stuff like my passport, my travel documents. I needed stuff like my coloring book, my stuffed animals. I have 3 stuffed animals that came back to college with me. Really quick list of stuff that I knew I needed to remember because I had packed the majority of my stuff already. And then this was a spread that failed. I did not set up a weekly for the week that I was coming back to school because I just didn't know how much I would be using it and how much I would have going on. So I tried doing this. I hated it. Didn't use it. And then I have some pages in the back here. I have a passwords page that I will not be showing you. I have a spread of what I want in my next bullet journal. I was practicing my handwriting here, just some cursive. I did a pen swatch page. I really like this. This is actually one of my favorite spreads. I wanted to fill up my pages, and so I just wrote a bunch of stuff. This has finance stuff on it. I have a want versus need page. I have a exercise page that I have not revisited since. A TV show tracker that I don't use anymore in this bullet journal. It has moved over to my new bullet journal. I was trying to make a fall schedule, but it didn't work out, and this was actually one of the attempts that just turned out into a grid. Yeah, that is the end of my bullet journal. And I do hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know that this is the first bullet journal video I've put up on my channel, and I might do a couple more in the future. I don't know quite yet. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I guess I will see you guys later. Bye.